Hello, lovely watchers. Welcome to the Book of Memories, a series where I will be telling the boyfriend unit off cam
Hey everyone!
about a series I love and adore. Back in the day, Silent Hill used to be able to get all psychological without blatantly telling you. This one is a vibe. So,
Buckaroo!
sarcasm is the body's natural defense against stupidity, and like me, if you're a Silent Hill fan, much like myself, who loves deep dives, maybe you'll get something out of this too. Now, if you like horror, music, deep dives, don't forget to smash the subscribe button down below. It helps the algorithms out. We begin with a psychotherapy session, which acts as a frame story for Harry's journey. Here, we answer a series of yes and no questions about our personality and habits, thus setting the foundation of the psychological profile for the rest of this journey. I will be asking the questions, and boyfriend unit off cam will be answering.
What?
Yes.
Oh, okay.
Here we go.
Alright, let's go.
I make friends easily.
So, yes.
Okay. Having a drink helps me relax.
Yes.
I always listen to other people's feelings.
Yes.
I prefer abstract ideas.
No.
I've enjoyed roleplay during sex.
And now.
Working to a plan or schedule is best.
Oh, yeah.
I have never cheated on a partner.
No, I haven't. So that's
A yes.
a yes. Okay. That was confusing.
Yes, I have never cheated on a partner.
So, yes, I have never.
Double negative questions like
I don't.
that.
That reminds me of like the like high school
Yes.
question, trying to get into college and all
Yes.
that. I hate that shit.
Yes. I hate those questions too. And by the way, they do those in the military too. And you know.
If you know, you know.
And by the way, people who form those kinds of questions, I feel like they think they know what they're asking. But then like people like
They're
me show
doing.
up and I'm like 3D chessing what the hell the answer is. And I'm like, well, I mean, technically, we were broken up, Stephanie. What?
Nothing.
Waking up from a car accident, suffering from issues with memory, Harry realizes his daughter is yet again missing.
Wait, we're back at Harry?
Yes.
Cool.
Remake! It's actually not really a remake. It's actually a reimagining.
Ah, okay.
You'll see why.
Okay.
He begins to travel home to search for Cheryl, hoping she is already there thanks to either meeting Sybil in a coffee house or a random lady in a local pub, depending on your questions that you answered. Through town, his consciousness moves between the real world and a nightmare. Not the typical industrial world we have all come to love and adore. Now, it's a frozen version of the town in which monsters chase after him because all they wanted was a hug.
And then cheeks.
And them cheeks. Making it to his house, he finds another family lives there named the Gordons. This is important because one of the school teachers in Midwich Elementary School that we have visited before is K. Gordon. And you get the K. Gordon key as you're leaving to get to the other side of Silent Hill on the map.
Okay.
So you kind of go to his house in the original game too, but this one specifically really draws in like the, hey, the Gordons are still alive and well. And they're also very white and basic.
Unseasoned.
Very unseasoned. Very unbuttery biscuits. This is the same name drop of the OG story, whereas Harry is leaving Midwich Elementary School, he gets the key to the K. Gordon house, and thus progressing the story. We're back at the psychotherapy sessions, so you yes/no questions,
Okay.
where we have one-sided conversation about the subject of family and if family matters to us. Does family matter to you?
Yes.
It depends.
I thought it had to be a yes or no. Yes or no.
Well, this one's one of those like, yes, no. Okay, but by the way, we're playing on the Nintendo Wii, so you're shaking the camera yes and no, like this.
Is that like a maybe?
There's no maybe, so you don't get to spin the head around. I have played the game where you spin the head around, or you spin the, camera around to see like which one it activates.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what the
Okay.
Yeah. Then we're forced to color a picture. So, question time.
Okay.
Are you a private person?
Yes.
Does it take a while for people to get to know you?
Yes. If we're just sticking to yes or no answers, I'll just go with yes.
Would you prefer to spend time with friends over family?
Now that I'm older, family.
Officer Sybil Bennett arrives and decides to take Harry to the police station. As they drive through the snow-fallen town, the storm becomes too much. Sybil leaves Harry in the police car to find nearby help. So now it's Harry's chance to dip the fork out. He runs through the forest into some log cabins till he eventually makes it back to town the long way. At the psychotherapy session, we get to pick and choose the ideal high school experience, picking what classes we would like. For you, if you had like 4 classes you could pick for your ideal high school day, what would it be?
Are you just talking about like my high school, like what I took?
Sure.
Or like my favorite subjects?
Yeah. Like your ideal high school life.
I was always, so for me in high school, English was always my top one. Your fans are gonna laugh at me. So it was English, it was math, and then it was band, and then I wasn't really into the art, but I guess history. Yeah, you are dating a square bear as fuck.
My ideal day?
Oh my gosh, did it even involve being on school?
Well, yeah. I showed up.
Were you even on school grounds? Like,
I was in the parking lot. Counts.
technically.
It counts. My ideal day would be music class, maybe drama, because, I mean, really, you weren't doing much except watching movies or maybe doing something called a play. PE, also known as Lunch 2.0, because no one went there.
Well, at my high school, if you did band, you didn't have to do PE, because marching, we didn't have to. I know, apparently that's unheard of, but yeah. As if you were in band, because we had to march so much because we were in the competitions, we did not have to do PE.
I enjoyed my English class as well.
I was in all the English classes, the creative right. Well, it was kind of weird. Like our counselors would have us do like a little thingy, like okay, boom, 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 and sign you up for all these things. And I got all the English classes. Kind of not knowing what I was doing, but I just
didn't know how to speak English very well, or read very well.
Which makes
that's why like.
You don't like English then?
I did. Well, I didn't at first. I took English because I didn't understand it and I wanted to.
We had very different high school.
Oh, yes, we did. Yeah.
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 Well, we've had discussions, but still.
Okay. Well, also at this psychotherapy session, we're discussing social interactions through stereotypes. So if these fit you, then one would agree to the following.
More questions for me?
Which social interactions or stereotype would you most resonate with?
Oh, okay.
Jock?
No.
Slut?
Definitely not.
Drunk?
No.
Virgin?
Yeah, that was that, but
Bully?
no.
Slacker?
No.
I was a slacker back then.
Shut up.
Not too much of a slacker. Here's the thing, kids. It was 2005, and I knew that I just needed to get out of my parents' house. So I just did everything that I could to get out of high school. And at one point, through half of my high school year, I only had to show up for like half the day. And then I worked the other
What year was that?
2005.
No. Like senior.
My senior year was 2005, 2006.
Oh.
Yeah. I showed up half the
Wouldn't
year.
you want to do well in high school so you can get a scholarship and get out and like not have to like no? Okay, see, different mindsets. Never mind. I was thinking like
If you have a diploma, then you don't have to live underneath your parents' house because you've graduated. You don't need them anymore. You have a job.
yeah, but wouldn't it be better to?
Oh no, there's a lot of betters that we could have picked. This was the easier one.
Oh, I was gonna say like get a scholarship and go to college and get further away.
Oh no, I went to college too later on.
Oh.
Yeah, post 9/11 GI Bill. What benefits? But no, the point is, it's like even that was a full-time job for me.
Yeah.
You know, and it was the recession too, so I wasn't just like holding down one job. I was holding down like 3 jobs as soon as I got out of high school.
Dang.
Yeah, it was a struggle. It was
What
hustling.
year was this again?
2006, 2007.
Okay.
That was college years for me.
I'm just trying to think of where I was at.
Or university.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
But I really buckled down like in like 10s. Yeah.
Dang.
That's when I really buckled down. So anyway, I'm a work in progress, everybody. Story really did us a disservice since outcast and loner is left out. And I would have fit into one of those two a lot easier.
Same.
Yeah.
Is there such thing as a outcast virgin?
Yeah, no. Not with what the video game
Like,
does.
can't be an outcast or a virgin. Pick a struggle.
Because I definitely was a loner, but I guess slacker would have sufficed. You know what I mean? Eventually, Harry finds his way to the local high school called Midwich, where he learns from a woman named Michelle Valdez. Cheryl Mason attended school there previously, only to move later on in the school year. This is odd because Cheryl is supposed to be like 7 years old, but now we're told she's a teenager. So Michelle offers to drive Harry to Cheryl's new home address after walking their way to the Balkan, a local nightclub. The Balkan, by the way, tidbit here, used to be the name of the church that you meet Dahlia Gillespie in the first game.
Oh.
Chatting up with Michelle till her boyfriend shows up with the car, Harry briefly steps away to make a phone call. He returns to find Michelle has been replaced by a young woman named Dahlia, and she claims to be Harry's lover and acts as if she has been with him the whole time. Accepting a ride from Dahlia, he's then confronted about the state of their relationship, causing another shift in the icy nightmare. The car falls into a river when they begin crossing the bridge. Harry escapes, however, succumbing to the cold and passes out. Yes, he ditches Dahlia in the car. Rest assured, she's in a frozen state, so it's not like we could have helped her.
Yeah.
In our next psychotherapy session, we get to arrange a set of photos into two categories, and those who we think are sleeping and those who we think look dead. It's a perception test at the end of the day, and the doctor jokes, what if they were all dead? In another turn, the doctor will then say, like any typical psychologist stereotype, there's no right or wrong answer here. I hate those.
Yeah.
Awakening in a wheelchair pushed by Sybil Bennett in Alchemilla's hospital, before Sybil can tell Harry about his file at the station, the town transforms into an icy nightmare again. Harry escapes and runs into Lisa Garland, a nurse injured in a car crash. Same girl.
Here's Lisa?
This nurse Lisa.
Mm-hmm.
Escorting her to her home, as she slips into some comfy clothes at her request, Harry gives Lisa medicine presumed to help her with the headache.
Does the medicine start with an R?
Our fifth session with the good doctor is all about personal responsibility and guilt. Here's a little story in a story moment.
Okay.
Prince Wilhelm is passionately in love with Celestine. She doesn't love him. One day, Wilhelm comes to the king and asks for Celestine's hand in marriage. Celestine begs the king not to marry her to Wilhelm, but the king ignores her pleas. Royal protocol means he must say yes to the match. They are married, and Wilhelm takes Celestine back with him to his kingdom. That night, he attempts to consummate the marriage, but the distraught Celestine flees. She runs from the safety of the castle and across the field, ignoring the signs which warn of danger. In the field is a bull, who sees the girl, charges her, she falls under the hooves, and is killed instantly.
Oh,
Yeah, it's not very...
poor
not
thing.
very- yeah. So, on a spectrum of most guilty and least guilty, you have the bull, the king, the prince, and the princess. Who is most guilty? Who is least guilty?
Least guilty from least to most, right?
From least to most.
I guess bull, prince. Wait, is she part of it too?
Mhm.
So I guess her, bull, prince, king.
Okay. The king is the most guilty because he made them married, because it's protocol.
He did it because in my mind, he's aware of how she feels, what she wants, and he's foregoing all of that to save for tradition. The bull is just, she just wants to live her own life. The bull is just being a bull. It's an animal. It doesn't know the difference of it just knows something's in its territory, and it goes and attack. The prince is also aware he's not doing anything to stop it, and he's just idly sitting by, and what's that phrase? Evil, the only way for evil to triumph is for good men to do nothing. Like, you could have did something, but you didn't. So you're just as guilty.
That makes sense.
Without me trying to think about it, just going like what's popping into my head or off the tip of my tongue, that's how I see it. I may be wrong, but
That's all right. Only to then return from an adventure to the local mall to find Lisa dead or dying, depending on the actions taken in the story. Finding Harry next to Lisa's corpse, Sybil attempts to arrest him, but is frozen as the nightmare begins again. Get a psychotherapy thing with Dr. Quackmeister McQuackerson. We're asked a few questions. So yes and no's.
Okay.
Do you think marriage can really last?
Yes. I've seen it.
Should a couple stay together for the kids?
No.
Do you think it's a bad idea to marry young? That's a big sigh. That's another big sigh. My parents, my mom, she married at 18, and I wish she didn't.
I will say this. I don't think it's a bad idea to marry young, but the individuals both have to have the right head on their shoulders, which is rare. But there are a few people in my family who married extremely young, and here we are some 50-something years later, and it's amazing. But they were both in it to win it in their teens. I think nowadays that's not a thing. Kids are very self-centered, and it was a different generation back then. So if they're both same mindset, then yes, it can work. But you have to get two individuals on the same wavelength.
True. After answering these questions, we're then asked to sort 3 couples on who we think would make the most likely pair together. These pictures range from background settings, body postures, and facial cues. Matching is not quite as easy as you would think, just based on those 3 criterias. Harry escapes to Cheryl's home, where he finds an older Dahlia who claims to be his wife. Telling him Cheryl is at the lighthouse, Harry enters another nightmare, this time more abstract than the last few nightmares. Meeting back up with Michelle and her boyfriend, they give Harry a ride to Toluca Lake. If you generally support marriage and sort the pictures of couples by the backgrounds or appearances, Michelle's boyfriend will initiate breaking up with her. His reasons is that their relationship can work without loving each other for who they are. Makes no sense, but here we are. If we disapprove of marriage and sort the couples by their expressions, Michelle realizes her personal happiness is more important than their relationship and initiates the breakup. Running along the docks after witnessing this hot tea, Harry finds young again Dahlia aboard a boat at the lakeside harbor, who sets the course for the lighthouse. She then seduces Harry. The last psychotherapy scene with Dr. Kaufman is an accusatory moment where he believes we are obsessed with sex, and it's either because we're getting a lot of it or not. So we're then told to place 7 different ink blot images into categories. Either way, they're all images of death, blatant or otherwise. His belief in the opposite of the sex is death thing, and thank the Lord, that's the last psychotherapy session we have. Waking up moments later, Harry finds Dahlia and the environment covered in ice. He decides to leave the boat and cross the rest of the lake, running on the presumed thick cut ice. The ice eventually breaks and Harry swims the remainder of the way till the cold water succumb him. Harry is dragged ashore near the lighthouse by Sybil Bennet, who confronts him with the news that Harry Mason died 18 years ago in a car accident. As Harry proceeds, he finds the lighthouse is the name of Dr. Kaufman's counseling clinic.
So he's a ghost this whole time? Shut up.
We then find out the patient in the therapy session is an adult Cheryl, who is in denial over her father's death. Harry enters the office and Cheryl either reconciles herself to the death and continues clinging to her fantasy father. And if the plot is obtuse and abstract, you're not alone, because again, depending on what Harry does, looks at, and interacts with, changes parameters with the journey. There's a couple of endings that run simultaneously. Okay. So you're gonna get one of these 3, and then like another set of endings which we'll go over as well. It's kind of heartbreaking. So these are called the in-office endings. These are the moments where Harry walks in and Cheryl sees him, okay? In the broken ending, Harry kneels before Cheryl. They gaze at each other, unsure of how to say goodbye to one another. She tells him, "You've been with me for so long." Harry forces a smile and replies, "I always will be." Cheryl closes her eyes and shakes her head in a final goodbye. The ice creeps up over Harry, sealing him in her memories forever. Error of guilt ending. Harry confronts Cheryl. He knows she can't forgive him, nor does he want to be. Cheryl stands up and confronts her guilt. "Why did you have to die?" Without tears, she continues, "It's my fault. Someone has to take the blame." Harry approaches her with open arms to try and confront her. She stops him, holding his hand away from her. They both feel cold to each other. Harry then whispers, "Forget me," as he retracts away from his daughter. His body freezes as he steps back, his eyes frozen upon Cheryl. His body then crumbles to the floor. With the hero forever ending, Cheryl whispers, "Dad?" Harry kneels down before her. "You are a hero." She smiles, happier than with a father she loves than the truth. "The man you died, that wasn't my father." She pauses, taking a breath. Her eyes begin to water. "That isn't who I remember. Those memories are all I have. You're all I have." Harry turns from her. "I'm not even a ghost," he whispers. Cheryl shakes her head, unable to bear losing him. She wraps her arms around him tightly, tears streaming down her face. They hold each other closely. For once, Cheryl feels warm. How do you like that?
I'm not sure if I understand the last ending. The hero, let's say hero forever?
Yeah. Like, she idolized him so much as like a hero,
Uh-huh.
you know?
So
Like,
he's
he's
not
like,
dead in that one?
well, no. He's still, but this is like the projection of what she thinks her dad
And
is.
she was able to hug his ghost and feel warm? Okay. Oh, that's like some ghost shit.
Yeah, it's very much on like
Like
on the nose.
like Demi and
Patrick Swayze.
Patrick Swayze,
Yeah,
like the last goodbye.
yeah. Okay, so after those three endings, we have videotape endings, okay? And this is because the game in the beginning, it does this thing where it's like videotape playback,
Mm-hmm.
where it'll play and then the video game will, like, as a cutscene, will rewind. Now we will where it'll play and then the video game will, like, as a cutscene, will rewind, and then you'll just like watch a little bit more, and then you'll just like watch a little bit more, and then it'll stop and rewind just a little bit further back. And then it'll stop and rewind just a little bit further back.
Oh,
And then, like, yeah, so it's like a videotape you're watching.
okay.
So this is going to be like that part of it. I didn't know how else to shoehorn that into the storyline. So, anyway. Lost Love videotape. Harry places his suitcase on the ground and turns to his wife, Dahlia. So many words to come to mind, but he says nothing. He just stares at the woman standing before him. "You be careful," Dahlia softly says. "Sure." Harry nods lightly, not concerned about safety for the moment. "Harry," Dahlia tries to explain. Harry holds his head up. "We've said enough. Let's just..." He turns and notices Cheryl recording the farewell. He says, "Sweetie, don't film this. This is not a memory he wishes to keep." He approaches Cheryl and kneels before her. He says, "You know this has nothing to do with you, right?" Dahlia crosses her arms and listens from the background. "Even though Mom and Dad don't love each other anymore, we both love you. We always will." Places the 10 on top of the camera. "Now come on." Cheryl lowers the camera and turns it off. You're a real sleazebag in this video game. Looking at all the hoo-has and all the pictures.
Okay.
Answered questions that we went over earlier.
That was gonna be one of my questions. Okay. So
This all
so all
plays
of these
into...
endings are based off of how you. I wonder if there's like a chart online to see like the way that I answered, to see what ending I would get. Oh, okay.
Sleazy and sirens. Action! Harry calls from the bed on the ship we were once on. "Come on, girls, introduce yourselves." Michelle bows before the camera. "I'm Michelle, and I'm Midwich High School's prom queen."
Okay.
She turns and sits on Harry's side, wrapping her arms behind him. "And your next star?" Harry summons. Lisa giggles as she enters the camera view. I'm Lisa. I'm a nurse. Lisa hurries to Harry's other side. And I'm Harry Mason, famous author and seducer of prom queens and nurses. Michelle innocently requests, Can we be in your next book? Sure, he replies. Can you dedicate it to us? Lisa asks, placing her hand on his chest. Nope. Dedications are always to my wife and daughter. It's only fair. They join each other in laughter, falling backward onto the bed.
Clutch my pearls.
Clutch everyone's pearls. Who knew that Harry was getting down? He was just like, woo!
Yeah, we both needed a sip for that one.
Seriously. Wicked and weak, Cheryl walks down the dark hall, playing with her video camera. She heads to her parents' bedroom to show them. When she sees them fighting again, You piece of shit, Dahlia screams at Harry. When are you gonna bring in some real money? She slaps him. Harry raises his hands to his face. You think your crap is Shakespeare, you piece of shit novelist? No one reads them. She strikes him again in fury. Harry collapses to the floor. Be a man! Dahlia screams. Come on, fight back! Harry does nothing. Dahlia towers over him, glaring down at the weak man before her. You're pathetic. To think that I used to hang off every word to this waste of space? She strikes him again. Harry's glasses clack against the wooden floor. He bends over to pick them up, slowly returning to his face. He notices Cheryl with her camera. For a moment, he looks at her, ashamed on his face. He remains silent. Drunk dad. It's a late night in Silent Hill. Harry approaches the front porch, beer bottle in hand. The hell you filming me for? Am I supposed to dance for you? In a mockery, Harry waves his arms around, pretending to dance before collapsing to the porch floor in a drunken stupor. His beer spills on the ground. Be a good girl for Daddy and go get him another drink, will ya? Cheryl stares at her fallen father. Now, give me a damn beer, he demands. He sits up and looks at the bottle in hand. No wonder I drink with a family like this. Camera closes, and that's the end of Silent Hill's Shattered Memories. So what memory of Harry would you prefer? You get the office ending and a videotape ending. They both play together. So the office ending is when he walks in.
Oh.
And it's that reveal.
Okay.
And then at the end of it, you get a videotape ending. So which office ending would you rather prefer? And which videotape ending would you prefer?
I think for me, it would probably... I kind of really like the Hero Forever ending. Like, it's very sentimental. It's very sad. It's like closure and goodbye and all that good things. So that one. And then
Yeah.
probably the Love Lost video, I guess.
The
I didn't care for... Yeah, I didn't care for the... Where's the Love Lost part of the inner office one? No.
This is the one where they're divorcing and they're going their separate ways, and you know, she's videotaping from the porch. And
Yeah, we'll just go with that one because
Yeah.
I don't care for the
yeah.
all that negativity.
To be honest, Drunk Dad touched me way too hard when I first played this.
Got the feels.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
Like, it's funny how a video game or like a story or like whatever, like they'll like hit like a certain like thing. You're just like,
Yeah, well, usually when things are a little too close to home,
yeah.
yeah, that'll do it.
For me, personally, I like the broken one. The one where it's like, you know, I'll always be here. You gotta let me go, kind of thing, you know?
That would probably be the second
Yeah.
in office for me.
Yeah. Yeah. I do like the Lost Love videotape. The two of them reconciling and saying like we're going our own separate ways and oh honey, don't videotape this, that thing. But like I always thought that Sleazy and Sirens and like the Wicked and Weak ones were just a little too on. Well, Wicked and Weak was too on the nose for like marriage.
Oh,
You know, of like the before they divorce kind of thing. And I've always thought that like maybe like the videotapes, if you put them in order, right? Like he's a sleaze bag, but he's also a drunk. And then like maybe they got like in altercations together, and then ultimately they divorce or something like that,
Yeah.
But that's never really a thing. You don't get to see all four of them in a line, you know. You don't get to have like all the office endings like bam bam bam, you know. And this game also has a thing with collecting things, so you have to collect like these mementos and all these items, stuff like that. So it's one of those ones. Yeah.
Okay.
But Shattered Memories. How did you like Silent Hill 1 being reimagined, repurposed, characters rebuilt up in different positions and telling a different story? Like
I will.
I always thought of this as like a proper ghost story.
Okay. I could see that. I would say this one seems to more complex than the original. But I feel like also too they did it well. They gave you plenty of options. It's kind of like they had time to refine the original and not make it better, but I think this would be a true reimagining of what something is. 'Cause sometimes you see like a remaster or a imagining, you're like, what was even the point? It's horrible. But it's like they took the best parts of it and they're like, this could have went this way. Like I don't think I would have imagined him with Dahlia.
Right.
That's something different.
Right.
Yeah. So I like it. It's pretty good.
Yeah. No. I like that was like one of the things where I was like this, like I remember first playing the story and I was just like, whoa. You know what I mean? Because like you always get like Harry and Sybil together, but then like the way the other character, and then finding out that you're playing Cheryl the whole time at the very beginning. You know what I mean? Like that was like, oh my gosh, like because you're wondering like, where is she this whole time? Like you're at the ass end of the game, you're at the butt end of the game because the whole thing you're just like, we gotta get to the lighthouse, right?
Yeah.
You eventually get there and you're just like this, when the hell is Cheryl showing up? And then you finally realize you've been her this whole time.
But when you're playing in game and you're running around, don't you see Harry?
Yes. You play as Harry after the yes-no first-person view of playing as Cheryl.
Oh.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's very ambiguous.
Okay.
Because they're talking to you. Or, well, you don't even... Unless if you have a head on your shoulders of, like, who's talking to you, who the man is that's talking to you.
So it's a scene of the yes or no questions, then it just jumps and you assume you're Harry, but you're actually... sneaky.
Very sneaky. You want to know a bombshell on this one?
What?
The same people who made Silent Hill Origins made this one.
Really?
Yeah.
Well, at least they learned from their lesson.
Oh, you learned. Yeah.
Jeez.
It was a vibe. It was definitely, well, there we go, everyone. Till next time, have unpleasant dreams as usual. Do all the things, like, subscribe, follow, ring the bell notifications, and I would love to hear what you guys think about down below about this chapter, and we will see you until next time on Pleasant Dreams.
Like in what situation?
Make friends easily, yes or no?
Yeah.
You're failing Silent Hill.
Okay. Oh, Teddy.
Oh, Teddy.
Stop.
The alarm.